Morning, Coochie Gang. It is, y'all already know, another episode of the monthly. I know I skirted on y'all last month, and I'm sorry. That's why I'm doubling up for y'all for the end of the year. You already know how I was coming. This is the second leg of season one, and I have two people that I love on different spectrums of the love because they are both in their own right very, very cool ass, dope ass people. And so I'm glad I have both of them as guests on today for the show. Of course, the title today is The Period and the Partner. Like, how are you when your partner is dealing with that time of the month? Or if you are that partner, like, what are you like? We finna do a lot of insight today on what that is from a woman and a male's perspective. And I'm glad y'all all joining in over on Facebook, over here on Twitter Spaces. Thank y'all so much for joining in today. So, just to introduce my guest today, right here I have my partner. This is Dom, former professional athlete and CEO of the Features clothing brand coming soon, y'all. And then I also have my man Champ, aka DJ365. He's talking to us from Delaware today. A member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and also a decorated member of the Air Force. So I thank both of y'all for being on today. Appreciate both of y'all for being on today. Yeah. So like I said, I know that I am a woman with reproductive issues. I've had them for some total of about 15 years now. And in my past relationships with partners that I've had, I would say that they weren't so modest with me. They weren't so gracious to me with my condition. A lot of times I would go to the hospital by myself. Even when I had surgery and I was with my ex-husband, he was tapped out emotionally and virtually wasn't there for me. I was there for myself. I recovered horribly and everything because he just wasn't there as an emotional and a supportive component. So today, y'all, like I said, I got some questions to ask just on both sides of the spectrum to see what you guys have personally dealt with when it comes to that. So I'll go ahead and start with you, Dom. Have you had a partner even before me that has experienced reproductive issues?
You know what? Honestly, I haven't. This is the first. I don't. There's been serious relationships, but it's been like a lot of dating.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of, if they did, we probably didn't get to the point where, you're comfortable enough to divulge that type of information.
Right.
Because it's just casual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you kind of pick and choose when you casually dealing, some stuff that you always going to kind of keep tucked until you figure that they worth, you getting that information. But this is the first one that I've honestly been in.
Right. Okay. And what about you, Champ?
I have. It's crazy because it seems like I'm the magnet. It seems like I'm like the magnet for women, I guess, who have reproductive issues and stuff like that. I've actually been in several relationships, including the current one, where my partners had like some type of reproductive situation. So, for example, what is it? Polycystic ovary syndrome.
PCOS.
PCOS, right? Even with that, we're trying to conceive a child. There was a point where, we had to go through IVF and we had to go through all of that stuff and just go through that process. And to be honest, it's challenging, but at the same time, it just takes a certain type of person to even be in a relationship. First off, it takes a certain type of person to be in a relationship, period. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to know your partner. Like, you got to make sure, that it's somebody that you can be in sync with. And stuff like that. So, it's challenging, it's different, but you make it work. You make it work. So yeah, I actually have. And this, like I said, and for me, it was a lot of learning lessons, like a lot of researching, and I think that's what I did because I'm actually a nerd anyway.
Right.
It's it's the research part of it, like getting online, not WebMD, because WebMD gonna tell you, oh man, you got millions.
WebMD go
you about to die, right?
Put some ice on it. Ice it. Like what?
Right. Like that's just gonna tell you, like, yo, like you up out of here. But ultimately, you have people who have who suffer from reproductive, issues or disorders or whatever it may be. You have people tell you, oh, you ain't gonna be able to do this, you ain't gonna be able to do that. This is not a norm, that's not a norm. I'm here to tell people firsthand that shit is not true. I don't know if I'm supposed to cuss on this podcast or
No,
not.
you good. Hey, we very, very uninhibited over this. So you
But
good.
that is not true. That is the furthest from the truth. And if you have a good if you have a good network and a good support for family and friends, and then you also have a good medical network, you're good. Like, you don't really have to, like, I mean, you still have to work a little bit harder than everybody else.
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, I got a little terrorist running around here, and she's as cute as she can be. She has no birth defects. She don't have anything wrong with her, and like she's developed, however she's supposed to. Like, I think all of my kids are good. Like, none of them have like any type of significant issues. So
that's what's up. Well, all right. So, like, what are methods that you would use with your partner? Like, what approach would you take when you know they were like in pain, or you knew it was coming and they were about to be just kind of bedridden or whatnot? Like, what approaches do you take with that?
So with the partners I have had who have regular periods, because obviously when you with a partner who does not have regular cycles, you get a 6-month break with not having PMS and all the other stuff to come along with that, right? But for the time, I can think back to times where the ones that did have regular cycles, to be honest, I didn't necessarily prepare per se, right? Obviously, you start getting indications and stuff like that, because you can tell, like, their breasts get larger, like they start to I don't want to say y'all swell up, but y'all bloated, you start to swell. I'm trying to find the right words. Man, people on Twitter listen to this, they like, oh, he calling me
right, yeah.
He's doing that, but can't none of them beat me up anyway, so I'm gonna use whatever. But like, so like you look at the signs, like the appetite changes, like when women start getting cravings and certain stuff like that. So the one thing I've always been really good at, like even now, is what I do. So if I notice it, or I notice a period is about to come on, I say, all right, cool, boom, let me make sure the heating pad is good, right? Yeah. In fact, I have bought a heating pad few relationships back. I had bought a heating pad. It looked like a little teddy bear, but how it was is it had like little arms on it, but it wraps all around your stomach.
Okay.
You can Velcro it. I got it off Amazon. And what you do is like, but the heat goes up to like 3 hours. So you're not having to swap the heat out every few minutes. Right. It stays hot. So you get the heating pad, you just make sure, like, when you're out and about, coming home from work, you'll make a quick stop, grab a couple snacks, grab something that she like. You know what I mean? The biggest thing as a man, the biggest thing you can do for a woman when they're on their period or they're going through any type of issues or that they have going on is to be there and to provide comfort. You're not there to provide a solution. You're not there to try and solve the problem. You're not there to feel sorry for them. Literally, you're there to be that support that they need. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I think that is extremely beneficial to be like, not only like that voice of reason in times that they do need it, because you got some people, they be in so much pain, they be like, oh, take me to the doctor, they can take all this shit out of me. Like, that's the reason, like, nah, I might need a couple of them eggs, you know what I mean? Because I shoot the club up, I need a motherfucker to come up out, I need a motherfucker to come up out of there. But ultimately, just be a good censor. Use common sense. I tell people, they say common sense not common. No, it is, but you use the common sense that we know, and make sure that you're paying attention to what your partner is doing, because you could tell by certain things, like they're more tired than usual, or they're more irritable than usual, right? Right. But the best thing for you to do is, all right, yep, you know what? Period might be coming. All right, let me just make sure she's good. And sometimes it's as simple as asking the question, hey, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. It's as simple as that. But I ain't gonna take them. I'm gonna let Dom get some. I mean, Dom. So what's your method of approach?
You hitting on all the major points. I would say for me, I'm super observant, so I pay attention. I always say, like, the energy is off in here. Like, I don't know what's going on, but the energy off. So we gotta fix that, because we at the crib. This is where it's crazy enough out there.
Right.
So I needed to be woosah in here. You feel me? So it's just communication. Like, that's it. Because you can tell when things are, they're not regular. But people be so scared to just ask. Like, why not ask? Like, whatever they about to say, like, it's not a bullet. It's not gonna kill you. Right. It might make you feel a type of way, but it's communication. It's communication. And I always say, because I know myself, I'm not myself when that time comes. So I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm about to be this type of, I'm feeling this type of way. So excuse me in advance. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, you know how to navigate it. But if I never say nothing or we never have the conversation, then you don't know what to do. And I can't look at you like, why you don't know what to do? It's because we ain't had a conversation. Because once I say it and I put it out there, it's on you to take that, digest that, and then, you know, do what you want to do with that.
Adjust it.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be gentle with me. Like, I'm not myself right now.
I feel
so that's it.
Right. And I can attest to that because she is very, very hands-on with me. Like making the bath water up and to me and so dun dun dun. What has sinking been like for you? Because even before me in whatever relationships, I'm pretty sure sinking has been a thing for you. So what are you like?
It's very common. I think I don't have a problem with the sinking. Like, because that's nature doing what nature does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no qualms about that. It's the exchanging of attributes. Like to chill. I'm unconfrontational. Fine, I'm an Aries, and you an Aries. No, if you know me, like you don't act like Aries until you take me there, and then I got all my Aries attributes. But I don't like if my I've had partners that have attitudes just naturally, like they attitudes just turn up more when they on their cycle, and it trickles down to me. So now we both in here with attitudes. I can't even take care of you the way I'm supposed to take care of you, and you can't, you know what I'm saying, reciprocate that back because we at each other's neck. I've had partners that have been emotional, but we just in there crying. We look at a commercial with a cute dog, we crying. What are we crying for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, things that I don't have a problem with the sinking because I'm naturally like, I'm a giver. Like, I love to take care. I'm a nurturer. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with that. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? But when I start getting your attributes that are naturally not mine,
that energy transfer,
that's the toughest part because you know that that's not you. So it's a battle within, and you already battling your body, and your body is doing what it's just a lot. So that's sinking.
You know what? I didn't ask before we started this. Am I allowed to drink on this podcast? Like, is this something like? I know it's only 11 o'clock. I know it's only 11 o'clock. But
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
All right, so check this out. I got to take a shot to that because that's some crazy shit. So you know that's fine. That's my
So while you pouring up that shot,
yes, ma'am.
How does it affect you personally when your partner is PMSing or mood swinging? Like, as a man, like, how does that affect you? Because of course it affects you, whether it be positive or negative. You're in the house, this is your partner, it affects you. So how does it affect you when it gets to that point?
A lot don't affect me, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be quite honest. Hold on. There we go. There go that shot. That was some crazy shit y'all just talking.
Oh, that is
you acting like you, and you acting like you, and now I don't know. Now I'm acting like both of y'all because now I'm like this is crazy, bro. Like hold on.
It gets deep.
Yeah, it gets deep, very real.
But how it affects me, to be honest, you know, I grew up in a hen house. It was me, my uncle, my grandma, my aunt, my cousin, all girls in the house. Half the time my uncle was barely there, so it's really just me. I'm actually quite used to it. You know, I got 2 older sisters. And for me, just being around them and watching them navigate, it doesn't per se affect me. I just learn how to navigate and move around it. So when I see that somebody's, you know, not who they normally are, because, you know, like, you know, they say like, oh, I'm not the same when I'm hungry, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, like, because you can tell when you're around people long enough and you know how people are, what you do is you learn to try to just move, funny enough, in sync. Like, I'm too motherfuckers. Now we triplets. We ain't twins. We triplets. I ain't gonna do no bleeding and none of that type of shit. But I goddamn, I'm gonna have an attitude with you because that's me.
Yeah.
But no, you know, I think, like I said, for me, I can't really attest to necessarily having to deal with or have it affect me per se. Plus, what I've learned over the years is that what other people go through and other things that other people have going on, I've learned that I can be a form of support, but I don't have to let what they go through affect me. Because I actually kind of got my own shit, affecting me. So I can't allow for somebody else's stuff, to affect me, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, fair enough. So, babe, given that you're a woman who's like one of God's loved angels that hasn't experienced like real reproductive issues, what advice would you give to women like me who deals with these type of issues like on a regular basis for like better body health and better, body image and stuff if they're trying to seek that out? What's your advice for that?
I can only speak on it a little bit, and that's just because just being an athlete, and I always I try to navigate that. I try to navigate life in that aspect sometimes. Right. So that makes me, it's a little bit easier for me,
Right, of course.
I got to get straight to it. I would say, and this is the shock value, because we on the monthly, and we can say what we really want to say.
For sure.
Shout out to all my doctors and my nurses. I love y'all. I respect y'all. I know, I understand the field, but I know the game. You know what I'm saying? We can't always settle with what they tell us.
True.
And I'ma just leave it there, because that's a whole nother tangent that we can go off.
Right.
I personally, and because you're around me,
right.
Holistic.
For sure.
Dr. CB, he was dropping gems. But again, everybody got to do their research. You got to do your research.
That's the most important thing.
You have to do your research.
We are not medical professionals. You have to go do your own research for sure. I stress this almost every episode. Y'all know this.
That's the disclaimer. But I honestly feel like that's really the way. That's the way. Doing research and seeing people live well into their 90s, latter 80s. Because really, if you look at the average, people checking out, the average age is 57. Of people checking up out of here.
Yeah, true.
That's
true,
young.
True.
You're supposed to be really enjoying your millions. When I'm in my 50s, that's when I'm enjoying my millions. Everything I put in the stock market gonna be hitting around that time. So I gotta be here. You know what I'm saying? So do the research and let's look at holistic ways. Because for the medicine that's offered, there's a herb, there's a plant, there's something out there that does that tenfold, and it's naturally.
Absolutely.
And it's for your body. It's for your body.
Right.
These are chemicals and things that are pressed up that we put in our bodies that aren't natural.
Right. And I can truly attest to her really being about that, because I can count on one hand how many times I've seen her go grab some Tylenol to aid whatever the ailment is.
What I want. Ginger.
Yeah, ginger.
Just cut me up a
right.
I know some ginger.
I'm gonna suck on that ginger and my headache's gone.
Mm-hmm.
My nausea's gone.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
more energy.
That ginger's some nasty shit.
Man, it does come in wonders though. Man, it is. Okay, so
real quick though, I just thought about something. Y'all asked me how I was affected. You know what's crazy? Sometimes I do find myself though, if a person PMSing around me, I let them know straight up, look, hey, I ain't doing that today. I'm very sure.
Hey, you gonna have to.
So kind of I just thought about it. I was sitting there smoking and drinking and listening to Dom, and Dom, she kicking the shit. And the whole time I thought I had the dude name fucked up. I've been calling him Dr. Sebedy or whatever the hell I've been calling him. I put his name all the way up. So rest in peace to Dr. CB. Now that I know how to pronounce your name.
Yeah.
I ain't too proud, bro. If I don't know something, I'm asking, not say that.
And that's what we're supposed to do. It's nothing but iron sharpening iron.
For
that's
sure.
it. Yeah. Now you're going to tell the next person, you're going to tell them right.
I'm like, that's CB, bro. I did. But so that's it. I definitely pick up. I reciprocate energy. I'm going to leave it at that so I can let you get to her next point. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what's your advice for men that are in relationships or married to a woman that experience reproductive issues like you've experienced?
Right. So the biggest thing is what men have to understand is that you are not the one going through these issues. You're not the one having the period. You're not the one that having debilitating cramps. You are not. So you can look at me and look at Dom. we look like we could damn near be brothers, dog. Like we look alike. You know what I mean? Shit, Dom look like she be my little light-skinned brother. You feel me?
Oh God.
But what separates me and Dom is our reproductive organs, right? So Dom can relate. Dom can relate to having the female parts and going through that and dealing with that, right? And she can better relate and support you in that aspect. Whereas me as a man, I don't know what it's like to have to go through debilitating cramps and like the migraine. Well, I know about migraines, but a period headache is way different than a normal migraine. I understand that, you know, from the outside, you know, looking in. So with all that being said, you know, because you have to understand that it's not you, sometimes just show a little bit of grace and mercy.
Right.
I already said be supportive earlier. I mean, but you want to be supportive, but exercise a little bit more patience. Right. You know, be a little bit more tender and loving towards that woman. You know what I mean? They might be getting on your nerves and make you want to like go bang your head against the wall because you're like, bro, like, nut. Because most times you feel like, damn, nothing I'm doing is the right thing. Like, what am I doing wrong? Right. But, man, we got to stop internalizing shit. Is what am I doing wrong? To okay, man, like this person is going through that. What can I do? How can I help you? What more can I do? Absolutely. And it's asking those questions. I think that's, you know, that's my advice for, you know, for men or in relationships, marriages, that type of stuff, with side pieces, 2-3 pieces, whatever the case it is, like, because you got to deal with it. You know, I always tell dude. So a lot of dudes, you know, they like multiple women, bro. But do you really want to deal with multiple periods? And you gotta be the type of person that's gonna be able, you know, to deal with whatever personality or personalities you have around you, and what they going. The biggest thing you can do is just love on them. You know what I mean? Not too much, because I know when I don't feel well, I don't like to be touched.
Already, all up in my
I don't feel well. Do not fucking touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't touch me. None of that. Like, you give me a little kiss, you give me a little hug, but don't try to be a part of me. None of that. And if you are the type of person that your love language is physical touch and you like to cuddle and do all of that, ask the question, like, hey, like, you know, you want to cuddle? Like, ask the question. You know, you can never go wrong with asking questions. That's the biggest thing. You know, ask questions, you know, and be, you know, just be there. You know, be kind and be gentle, and you'll see that things will work out a little bit better in your favor. Trust me.
Indeed. Like, I guess for me, being heterosexual first and then now being in a lesbian relationship, I've gotten that from both sides. Like, I've gotten both ends of that spectrum. So I can really speak to how it feels from a man and then a woman's, you know, standpoint, like how we do bond a little bit more before, during, after, as opposed to getting totally disregarded and ignored. It was a sharp contrast for me, but I was able to finally accept that once I saw, you know, that she truly meant doing that, you know, for me and with me. Okay, so this is something that I'm incorporating for like this second half of season 1. Going into season 2, I'm gonna start asking hot take questions. So this has kind of had some media coverage in the last couple of months or so. I'm gonna pose the question to both of y'all. Do y'all feel that PTO time for periods or time off from the workplace for periods should be incorporated? And I'm gonna start with you.
Oh, most definitely. Like you were saying earlier, Champ, we researching. You know, we do research. We kind of we want to be in the know. So with having a partner that experiences this, I've done my due diligence and always tried to stay ahead of the curve and be always on the same page with her. So, and just being a woman in the workplace, of course, they definitely need to do that. There are countries out here, and just from researching, I think it's Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Indonesia, and Zimbabwe. Mm-hmm. These countries have some kind of menstrual leave incorporated into their employment framework.
Okay, see, I didn't even know that.
This is the coldest part. In what country? Korea. They automatically give them 30 days of health-related leave for the women.
Damn.
That's 30 days. Do the math. You probably three days of the month. Yeah. 12 times. Hit or miss.
Yeah.
just you a little bit off. But these countries, I said all that to say that these countries, they already have it implemented. Why are we not following suit?
America, what are y'all doing? America.
Like these
American
countries that, you know, these, if we rank these countries compared to us,
we're
like
still first world compared to
exactly.
them. So yeah.
But they're already looking out for their women.
Right.
And if you look at the demographic, it's a lot more women walking around the US than it is men.
True.
Right. So why not? Why not look out for us in that workplace? Because that workplace could be hectic, and the battle within is already what it is. So sometimes we do need to decompress from that job.
Right.
Right.
So why not? We need to follow suit. So yeah, they definitely need to go ahead and put that in there. I'm gonna start just taking days. I already take days when I'm not doing it.
No pun intended.
So I already give myself health related leave, but it's just not implemented in the framework yet. Yeah, that's what Dom do.
Yeah. Shit, if my body ain't right, I ain't right to work.
You can't expect somebody to be at work if they ain't performing, you know, at least at 80%. People say 100%. Nobody's truly at 100%. Now, typically, this would be the part where, even though I agree with Dom, I would find a way to argue with her and try to like argue a negative point. But I'm not going to do that because simply, I feel that personally, I think that there should be some type of medical leave incorporated for women to have at least 3 days. Now, some people periods run longer than that. Some people have, you know, shorter periods. But regardless of what, I think that there should be something to where that is incorporated into your you know, into the work schedule or whatever. However, in order to make it paid, though, I think what we should do is like how people get like time to have overtime, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think what they should do is they should set time, say, hey, all right, bet. So we're going to give you 30 days a year, right? But what we need for you to do is, instead of giving me the time back for all 30 days, honestly, I only need you here and there. I just need you to pull a couple hours here and there, you know what I mean, to build up to where you can get paid for that time off. And the reason why,
I would do some hours from home. Like we are in the way our climate is set up. A lot of people are working from home. So I'll take work home, but I don't want to.
No, but my thing is like, even, I mean, and that's fine too. My thing is like not even necessarily like taking the work from home. Like, you know, like some of us work jobs. So in the military, I'm on salary, right? And we have lots of women in the military, right? We can work 12, 13, 14, 15-hour shifts. You know, it don't even matter, bro. Like what you get paid, you know, is what you get paid. What I'm suggesting is more like kind of like a piggy bank, if you will, kind of like, hey, when you first sign on, right? So you get X amount of vacation time, you get X amount of like the medical, the let's say the woman leave, right? Or whatever y'all want, feminine leave, whatever y'all want to name it, right? What I'm saying is in order like to get paid, because then now what's gonna happen is now you got men in the workplace, they looking at it like, wait a minute, because I'm gonna be honest, if I'm fucking going to work every single day, and it's like, wait, this person got a period, bro, they off and they getting paid, that's different. But the thing is I think that they should be allotted free time off that doesn't count against them. But in order to take advantage of getting paid, that you give a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm not saying you got to work 100 extra hours. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying is in order for them to say, hey, you know what? I bet. So what we're going to do is we're going to pay you the time off, but you give us you kind of give us a couple hours back here and there. And that could be whether you covering somebody else's shift. Because how often have y'all covered somebody's shift in y'all jobs and y'all don't get paid no extra for covering nobody's fucking shift? So when you go to cover a shift for somebody, what happens is that goes towards your bank pretty much to make sure that you get paid during that time off, kind of like paid time off, paid leave. I don't understand. I know what PTO is. I get it. Because we take leave, right? We got our 2.5 days a month, right? But truth be told, really, they can implement that same thing, and y'all really don't even have to worry about giving that time back if it's already given. So it's kind of so. And I honestly, now thinking about it, that'd probably be the better bet. Because look, in the military, we get 2.5 days a month. Whether you work or not, you get 2.5 days a month, right? Mm-hmm. To use. The max, you can't go over 60 in a year, right? Or it's called use or lose. At that point, I think that would be the best bet. So I recant my first part of it. Let's say let's do it. But let's have like, instead of 2.5 days, let's do 3 days a month where it is paid. Because I think personally, like, I mean, y'all can't help that it's natural. It's something natural. It's not like you willfully. You didn't fucking wake up and be like, hey, my nigga, I work, period.
It's At that time, I need that, you know.
You ain't look at the bro. You ain't look at the bro and say, hey, bro, hey, I need that period right now because I don't feel like going to work today. No, y'all not asking, y'all not asking for that. So, I stand on that point. I think I personally do agree. But like I said, normally I'll try to find a way to try to argue it. But this has been something that even within the military that I've kind of been advocating for. And like we've had generals and stuff come talk to us because I'm real heavy into like the mental health stuff and all of that. And we'll go into that on a different podcast. I know it's the monthly. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll come back and I'll talk about like, mental health and postpartum depression because I've lived through some of that. And, I can even talk about suicide awareness and we'll get to that at a different point. But ultimately, I've expressed to the military and to like, higher ups and generals and stuff that, hey, we got to take better care of our women in uniform. More specifically, our women of color in uniform. This has nothing to do, with our white counterparts or anything like that. But it is statistically shown that women of color, specifically Black women, are not receiving the same type or quality health care as other women, even when you start looking at the Latinos, the Asians and stuff like that, where ultimately, like, our Black women are kind of like the catalyst for medicine and everything else like that, because whenever they want to research or they want to do something on finding a cure, they typically go to the minorities, namely Black people first, because of how we're set up, because of how we're constructed, because even how our immune systems work on a different level than other people based on our genetic and our genetics and our buildup. A lot of people don't truly know and understand the power of like us, like as a nation of people. They really don't get it. You know what I mean? There's a reason why not only just white women, but there's a reason why there are white men that seek out, Black women to have, children with the Negroid gene, because there are certain aspects. Now I'm not talking about the diabetes because we all probably gonna get that as much sugar as I eat. I know I'm gonna get that shit eventually. but it's more than just like the hypertension and that type of stuff, the bad stuff. But there are a lot of positives. And even going back to what Dom was talking about with the herbs and what Dr. CB is doing and stuff like that, like, Black people, more specifically Black women, are like the platinum standard. People say gold standard. I love gold. But no, it's the platinum standard. And once we realize that, we got to take care of our Black women, because truth be told, look back in the slavery times, who was nursing these white people kids? Black women.
Yeah, you better tell the truth.
Platinum members.
You better tell
the
truth. Okay.
You know what I mean? That chocolate milk was hitting way harder than that skim milk, bro. Like it is, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And I don't say, and it's not like and everybody who know me knows, bro. I'm not. Oh, I'm pro Black power. I'm not. What's the nigga name? Umar, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'm not him. But what I'm about equality, and I'm about making sure that people get equal rights. And like I said, man, there's no reason why a woman should go to deliver a child and they're not getting the same quality treatment as somebody or a counterpart that's a different color than them. So we just gotta make sure things are equal across the board. And all I can do in my position and where I'm at is fight from the standpoint of our women in uniforms. And then we got people on the outside. You got congressmen, senators, all of that type of stuff that you can write. You can say, hey, like, what about this type of reform? What about that?
Right, get active. That's what I mean about. Get active. Don't just be talking about it. Get active.
Don't talk about it. Be about
protesting. You ain't got to be in the streets to make a difference. There are other ways that you can make a difference, but you got to figure out those ways and consistently attack it.
Absolutely.
Because we can't take a stand and march for a couple years and then fall back and revert back to what they know we're gonna revert back to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once we take the stand, we got to stand on it.
Right.
And when you got hold on, I know you get ready to close out, but when you got a sound body, a sound mind, you got clarity, and you exercise self-care, which can be anything. It can be simple. It can be as simple as painting your nails. It can be as simple as like taking a nap. And then the biggest word in dictionary nobody seems to know how to use, but saying no.
No.
Especially as women, when you get to a point where you're doing those things and you're really taking care of yourself, you're able to perform and move at optimal levels. That could take you, people say the sky's the limit, but man, this shit could take you to the universe and back. And that's all I got. I yield. So you go ahead and close this out. I knew you was trying to, Christian, and I kind of jumped in. That's what your ass get for bringing me on your shit, because
Yeah.
all my shit is unscripted. So that's
it's all good. That's what it's all about. That's what this is all about. Quick plug, both of you. Plug yourselves. Dom, plug yourself.
For the time being, if y'all need me, I am on Instagram, Bird Game Proper, everything together. A lot of things unfolding, top of the new year. So main hub is gonna be Instagram. From there, I'll release information, but that's under wraps. But I'm back. This is the first live I did on Facebook. So what's up, Facebook? I'm gonna tap in with everybody that saying time. I couldn't talk because we doing this, but we're gonna get through it. I'm back, so that's all that matters. And we're gonna have a good holiday season, and we off to 2023, and we stacking bread, and we gonna live healthy lifestyles. You feel me?
Right. That's right. All right, Champ.
I mean, my plug is fairly simple. It's I am DJ _365 on Instagram, so you guys can follow me there if you like. Also, I am a timeline terrorist on Twitter.
Yes,
my @ is @Big Joker. It's gonna be BIGJQKER 1911. So Big Joker 1911. That's BIGJQKER 1911. On Twitter, my Snapchat is the same as my Instagram, but I can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, the Anchor app. I do have my own podcast called the No Days Off podcast, and I have been slacking. I will create one. Probably, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna launch one 2023, and I think I'm gonna change the format. After doing this with Chris, in doing like the whole the video type podcast stuff, because I think you get a little bit more traction that way. But yeah, man, y'all holler at me, follow me. My lines of communications are always open. You can probably find me on LinkedIn as well. If you want my LinkedIn, I get it to you directly. I'm not putting that out here because everybody don't need it. Everybody don't need everything.
I'm about to say, you're giving them all. You're giving them exclusive.
Yeah. If you want exclusive, you gotta holler at me directly.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, man, for anybody dealing with any type of suicidal ideations, anybody dealing with any type of mental anguish, anybody feeling that they do not matter, anybody feeling like they're at a point of despair where they just cannot continue on and live any longer, do me a favor. Reach out to me on one of my social media platforms. I'll give you my phone number. I'll FaceTime you. We'll talk. And I just want you to know my aim is not to tell you not to kill yourself. My aim is to tell you that you matter. And at the end of the day, there are people that rely on you. And that with all of that being said is that you matter. We love you. We care about you, even when other people seem that they don't. Being in the holiday season, as Dom said, we're going into 2023. We're not trying to take no type of despair, none of that stuff into 2023. However, if you do take having a bad day or a couple bad days or being sad or, even being depressed, you can do that. You can take that into 2023 if you want to, because everybody has the right to not be happy all the time. Right. What draws people to mental health issues and killing themselves is not having that flexibility to feel like they can feel the way that they feel. So I urge any and everybody out there who hear me, who's watching this on Facebook Live, listening to this on Spaces, if you ever feel like you need a helping hand or you just need somebody to simply listen, you know what I mean? God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'm here to help listen. And then after I finish listening, what I'm going to say to you is I'm going to say, okay, cool. And my next words are going to be, what can I do for you? So have a what can I do for you type mentality when as you navigate and you go into the new year. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I am DJ.
All right. As y'all know, I am at ThaMonthly on all platforms, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you name it, I'm there. YouTube. I am Chris at ThaMonthly on Facebook. You can also find me there, but everywhere else, I am at ThaMonthly, one word. I will also have all of this information that everybody gave in the description once the YouTube video is posted. While I'm right here, May 2023, the monthly Coochie Talks Live Women's Symposium. My first annual is going down. It is the 1-year anniversary of the monthly. It is also my birthday month, and I am having a women's conference in Dallas, Texas. 5 women, 1 mic. You looking actually at your moderator right here for that event. All right, so tickets go on sale 1/1/23. I'll have more information on that as well. Until next time, Coochie Gang, we out. See y'all later.